Hi, my friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, or if you're new here, welcome to my YouTube channel. So, I wish I was making this video on a happier note, but I feel like we should talk about what happened with Emiru at Twitch. What happened to her? I'm just gonna get right to it. What happened to her was not okay. It was actually very scary as a woman myself, seeing a full-grown man come at you like that. Not okay at all. And I I don't have a script or anything right now, so I'm just kind of just going off. Woo, that was weird. Just kind of going off of my thoughts. I'm just throwing my thoughts out there. So I feel like we should talk about how conventions are run. As a con goer myself, I sell at a lot of conventions as an artist in the artist alley. And over the years of me selling at these conventions, there have been moments where I was actually really concerned about the safety of those who were attending. So, for example, I went to FanX in Salt Lake last year and this year, and I have some comparisons here. So, last year, when it came to security, they would just check your bags and put a zip tie on like prop weapons and of those of the sort. And that was their safety measures there, but there were times when I was selling last year. I was selling at FanX, and when I was there, it was a little nerve-wracking, to be honest, because I was with my friend. We were sharing a table, and I had this family come up. It was just a random family, but one of them just mentioned, "Hey, we got in here for free." I was like, "Oh, how was that? Do you know somebody?" And they're like, "No, we just walked in." That's scary because, you know, a convention as big as Fan X in Salt Lake, the Salt Palace is freaking huge, and it is filled to the brim of people on the weekend of Fan X, and there's like thousands of people there, and it gets really scary because I have to think, and I wish I didn't have to think about this way, but what if there was a person who wanted to do harm to those at the convention and it started wreaking havoc? Therefore, you're going to have so many people freaking out and going like in a hysteria trying to get out of that building. Thousands of people trying to run out of that one building. And you're probably going to have more casualties or incidents and injuries of those who are just trying to run away to get to safety. And this year, when I went to FanX, I was just going as an attendee. There was a lot of they're going in the right direction. Let me just say that. When I went to get checked, like went to go get my badge, I had to go through security, and I'm doing this in quotation marks, but security. They looked through my bag, and which they have you open it up to show you all the compartments, but they didn't make me show all of my compartments on my bag, just the big ones. And last year, when they did bag search, they had like drumsticks to poke and prod in your bag to make sure there was nothing dangerous in there, but they didn't have that this year, which I wish they did. And this time they actually had a metal metal detector, like a wand, and they did my full body, which I was like, oh, okay, that's pushing it to the right direction. I actually was very pleasantly surprised and pleased that they actually did something like that. They were taking security a little bit, well, I thought, they were taking security a little bit more seriously for such a big event. But what happened is the next 2 days of the event, they didn't use the metal detector ones. Like, they only did it the first day, but they had them at the table. And I was just like, why do you have it out if you're not going to use it? Are you just Like, are they picking and choosing who they search, or just because everyone, make their own costumes and, you know, have things that look like metal but aren't. And so I, like, even though if it takes longer to get into the building, I would rather them actually, like, search every single person to be on the safe side. Because of since situations like this, what happened to Emiru at TwitchCon, like, from what I understand, she did not, Twitch itself didn't really provide any security for her. She brought her own security, which, she shouldn't really have to do, in my opinion. Like, if she gets invited to things like this, the event itself should be responsible for their safety. And I'm grateful that she did bring her own security team, but I find it completely ridiculous that the security that she hired was doing their actual job at protecting her, and Twitch, like, got you know got mad at them and not the assailant, the person who was forcing himself onto Emiru. And from what I understand, he just was able to walk off. And I heard, like, this is alleged because I'm not sure. We can't really tell because it was really grainy footage anyway. But I saw, oh my gosh, I saw Kenchi's um, video today regarding it, that just came out, and you guys should totally go watch that. He's hilarious, but he was also able to take a deeper look into it than I can, and it looks like, allegedly, because we're not sure, it looked like the person who tried to make advances towards Emiru had a weapon. He had a knife. It looked like. And when the security guard pushed him, it looked like he was trying to take it out. So Emiru literally could have been in a much more serious situation. And it's scary that something is like this happens in the stage age. It shouldn't. But the one thing that I really, really hope for is that conventions going forward start to implement either the metal detector ones or even getting those temporary metal gates. I would prefer waiting in a line, like an extra longer time in line, to get into a building that I will know for sure is safe. And yeah, we're a bunch of nerds. A bunch of us are in there, we're nerds all across, like, the ages. And I'm in my 30s, and so I see a lot of people also in my 30s, but, like, there's also children. There's families and infants that come to these events, and having something like this happen is terrifying. And, I'm grateful that Emiru is safe. This should not have happened to her at all. I hope she's doing okay. And Emiru, I doubt this, but if you ever see this video, I really hope you're okay. And what happened should have never happened in the first place. I'm so sorry that you had to experience that. That's terrifying. And I hope things get better in the future. And I hope Twitch will kind of get their act together, because I saw you know, their little statement about taking things in. I don't know how to explain this. I'm sorry. I saw Twitch's statement and how they were trying to, they take security very seriously. Well, if they did, what happened to Emiru wouldn't have happened in the first place. And the people she hired were doing her job. And that security officer should not have been, he should have been praised instead of being punished from Twitch, in my personal opinion. And yes, so I hope in the future that we, like, conventions can get the resources to be safer. So getting those security ones or those security gates just to be on the safe side and having actual people. I personally wouldn't mind this, having people with gloves on, of course, like going through my belongings, like my purse and stuff, like they do it at the TSA, and they do it at like concerts and stuff, or bring up like clear bags or something like they do in concerts nowadays to be safer. And I wish we didn't have to go that route, but in this day and age, it's just getting scarier, and we should just be, protect one another. Just make it more family friendly and safe, because, us nerds, us like people who are very antisocial, or, don't know how to really make a lot of friends out in the real world. They get together at these conventions because they find people who are like them, and it's like a source of belonging, like finding a place to belong. And having events like this big not have the proper security, makes it really dangerous for those who are just going to be themselves and not be judged for it. And I really hope that this would be like what was caught on video and everything. Like this would just be an eye opener for those events, people who are wanting to start events, create conventions, or people uh, who have conventions that they run. See this as a way going, oh crap, we need to do better, or we need to up our game. So, with that being said, I hope all of you have a great rest of your day. And also, hopefully, it just doesn't scare you to go to conventions. Conventions are a lot of fun. I'm hoping that they just have better security in the future. And I am very grateful that nothing super crazy has happened in an event like this. But I feel like it's gonna go down that route if we don't take precautionary measures. So let me know what your thoughts are down in the comments below. Also, thank you for watching this, and I hope you guys have a wonderful Sunday or whatever day you're watching this. And I hope good things happen in the rest of your days and your week. So thank you, and I hope you have a great day and have fun. Cosma out.